Today, you will witness two horrifying cave stories that never truly happened, but end in horror. In the first, on April 4th, 2000, inside Mexico's colossal crystal cave, you'll see how Juan Morales' overconfidence dragged him into a deadly trap. In the second, on May 27th, 2011, in the misty mountains of Thailand, the breathtaking beauty of the Tham Lod Cave suddenly turns into a living nightmare. If you're ready, let's dive together into the dark secrets of the depths. On April 4th, 2000, the sun scorched the rugged hills of Chihuahua, Mexico, baking the dusty ground. At the entrance to Cueva de los Cristales, the Crystal Cave, 22-year-old Juan Morales stood, heart racing with excitement and a touch of nerves. This cave was legendary, a hidden realm of towering selenite crystals, some as tall as trees, sparkling like diamonds in a furnace. But it wasn't a sanctuary. Inside, the air hovered at a stifling 122 degrees Fahrenheit, thick with suffocating humidity. Juan adjusted his helmet, glancing at his team. Maria Guzman, their sharp-eyed guide, Luis Hernandez, a lively geologist with a quick smile, Ana Lopez, a reserved biologist, and Diego Perez, a caver with a gift for spotting trouble. They'd come for science, to explore the cave's unearthly beauty. None of them could have foreseen the terror lurking below. Maria took the lead, her flashlight piercing the darkness. The cave opened into a breathtaking chamber, where massive crystals rose like jagged skyscrapers, their edges scattering light in every direction. It felt otherworldly, like stepping onto a distant planet. Juan's breath caught, his shirt already clinging with sweat under the crushing heat. "Step carefully," Maria said, her voice steady but firm. "These crystals are sharp as blades, and the ground's tricky." Juan nodded, tightening his grip on his gear. Young, fit, and eager, he was determined to prove himself. The team moved cautiously, mapping the cave's wonders, their boots crunching on loose gravel. Each step echoed in the vast space, making them feel like pioneers in a forgotten world. Trouble hit in a tight passage. The team squeezed through a narrow gap, where crystals jutted like spears. Juan trailed behind, his backpack brushing against the walls. He placed his foot carefully, but the surface betrayed him. A loose crystal shifted beneath his weight. In an instant, he slipped, his body twisting as he fought to stay upright. A sharp crack rang out as his leg wedged between a massive selenite and a rugged rock. Searing pain shot through him, intense and unyielding. He gasped, struggling to move, but his leg was trapped. Then, a chunk of crystal broke free above, crashing onto his shoulder. The blow pinned him, his arm numb, his body caught in the cave's ruthless grasp. Maria spun at his cry. "Juan!" Her voice sliced through his haze of pain. She darted to his side, hands hovering over the crystal trapping his leg. Its edges gleamed like a blade. "Stay still," she urged, her calm barely hiding the fear in her eyes. The cave's heat was oppressive, the air thick and heavy. Sweat drenched Juan's face, his breath short and ragged. "It hurts," he whispered, voice shaking. Maria's mind raced. The crystal was unstable. One wrong move could trigger a collapse. Help was desperately needed, but they were deep underground. Far from the surface, Luis and Ana shared a quick look. "We'll find help," Luis said, his tone steady despite the worry in his eyes. "There's a radio at the entrance." Ana, pale but determined, nodded. They turned and sprinted off, their footsteps fading into the dark. Diego stayed, his hands trembling as he held the flashlight steady. "We're with you, Juan," he said. Though his voice wavered, Maria worked quickly, assessing the situation. The crystal pinning Juan's leg was too heavy to lift alone, its edges too sharp to touch safely. The cave's heat drained their strength, and Juan's face grew ashen, his body shaking from pain and creeping dehydration. Time was their enemy. The cave's brutal conditions, 122 degrees Fahrenheit and nearly 100% humidity, were deadly. The human body couldn't endure this for long. Juan faced the risk of hypothermia, his body overheating with no way to cool down. Maria poured water over his head, trying to keep him stable. "Hang in there, Juan," she said, her voice a lifeline. "You're stronger than this cave." But deep down, she knew they needed a miracle. Have you ever faced a moment where every second felt like a lifetime? Share your story of resilience in the comments. It could inspire someone facing their own challenge. Hours dragged on, Juan's vision blurred, the pain in his leg a constant roar. Diego kept talking, sharing tales of past adventures to keep Juan conscious, though his voice trembled. Maria rigged a makeshift shade with her jacket, shielding Juan from the heat radiating off the crystals. Every move was a risk. One wrong touch could shift the fragile formation, bringing more crystals down. Maria's hands stayed steady, but her heart pounded. She had led countless expeditions, but nothing like this. The cave was stunning, yet cruel, unforgiving in its beauty. Juan's breaths grew faint, his words slurring. "I'm sorry," he mumbled. "I didn't mean—" Maria cut him off. "You're going to make it. Just hold on." The sound of footsteps shattered the tension. Luis and Ana returned with a specialized cave rescue team, their gear clanking as they navigated the tight passage. Trained for extreme conditions and delicate rescues, the team wore heat-resistant suits, their tools built for precision. Their leader, Carlos, a seasoned rescuer, took charge. "We've got this," he said, his voice calm yet commanding. The team worked seamlessly, securing the crystals with supports to prevent a collapse. A single misstep could spell disaster. Carlos used a hydraulic tool to gently lift the crystal off Juan's leg, while another rescuer stabilized the loose formation above. Juan cried out in relief as the pressure eased, though blood seeped from deep cuts where the crystal had sliced his skin. The team moved swiftly, bandaging Juan's leg and securing his shoulder. The cave fought them at every turn, its heat and humidity relentless. They set up a stretcher, moving carefully to avoid worsening Juan's injuries. Maria held his hand, her voice unwavering. "You're going home, Juan." The trek to the surface was grueling, the team maneuvering through narrow passages with precision. Each step battled the cave's harsh terrain. Want to know how rescuers train for moments like this? Check out cave rescue programs near you and discover how you can support life-saving work. The cool surface air hit like a wave. Juan was rushed to an ambulance, weak but alive. At the hospital, tests revealed deep cuts on his leg and a dislocated shoulder, but the outlook was hopeful. With time and care, Juan would heal. Lying in his hospital bed, he stared at the ceiling, the cave's glittering crystals etched in his memory. They were beautiful, but they had nearly taken everything. He thought of Maria, Diego, Luis, and Ana, their courage, their refusal to give up, and the rescue team, strangers who risked their lives to save him. Cueva de los Cristales is a wonder. Where nature's beauty meets its danger, it's a stark reminder that even the most stunning places can turn deadly in a heartbeat. Juan's story isn't just about surviving, it's about the people who stand by you when everything falls apart. The cave tested them all, yet it revealed the power of teamwork and determination. If Juan's story resonates with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Let's spread the message of courage and preparation in the face of danger. Weeks later, Juan walked out of the hospital, his leg scarred but strong. He hugged Maria tightly, his voice thick with gratitude. "You saved me," he said. She shook her head. "We all did." The crystal cave still stands in Chihuahua, its crystals gleaming in the dark, waiting for the next daring or reckless explorer. For Juan, it's a memory he'll carry forever, a lesson in respecting nature's power and honoring the bravery of those who face it. Before your next adventure, ask yourself, are you ready for what lies ahead? Prepare, train, and never go alone. Your story could inspire the next generation of explorers. May 27, 2011, in the misty Emerald Hills of northern Thailand, where the Tham Lod Cave system in Mae Hong Son province calls to those hungry for adventure. This massive karst labyrinth, sculpted over eons by the Nam Lang River, stretches over a mile beneath the earth. Its chambers glow with towering stalactites and stalagmites, like frozen waterfalls caught in time. Bamboo rafts glide visitors through its watery paths, revealing natural pillars over 65 feet tall, where dripping water has fused floor to ceiling. But beneath this beauty lies danger, tight passages that test your limits, suffocating humidity that clings like a second skin, and fragile limestone walls that can collapse without warning. These are the threats lurking in the shadows. Meet Theda Wongchai, a 28-year-old office worker from Bangkok, craving an escape from the city's grind. Drawn to nature's hidden wonders, Theda was inspired by tales of ancient caves where hill tribes once placed wooden coffins deep in the darkness. Her soul yearned for adventure. Would you trade the comfort of home for a journey like this? On this day, she joined a small tour group to explore Tham Lod's echoing chambers. Leading them was Somchai Kittisak, a seasoned guide whose weathered face spoke of countless treks through Thailand's underground. With him were 6 novice cavers: Araya, a young teacher from Chiang Mai; Bunmi, a local farmer; Kanika, an artist captivated by the cave's formations; Tanawat, a university student on break; Johan, a South African backpacker chasing thrills; and Liam, an Irish photographer capturing Southeast Asia's raw beauty. The group gathered at the cave's entrance, where the Nam Lang River spilled out in a gentle cascade, framed by jungle alive with birds and insects. Somchai's voice carried calm authority as he handed out headlamps and life vests. "Tham Lod is full of wonders," he said, "but it demands respect. The river can surge without warning, and some passages are as tight as a snake's throat. Stay close, and if you feel trapped, breathe deep." Theda's heart raced with excitement as they boarded bamboo rafts, pulled by villagers, and glided into the first chamber. The air grew cool and heavy, daylight fading like a closing door. Stalactites loomed like jagged teeth, mineral-rich water dripping into pools along the raft's edge. Araya pointed out a formation shaped like a breast, a local symbol of fertility, while Liam's camera flashed, cutting through the gloom. Deeper in, they left the rafts to hike into the second chamber, where the cave revealed its true nature. Narrow corridors twisted ahead, their slick limestone walls cold to the touch. Theda, right behind Somchai, squeezed through a tight slot, her shoulders brushing unyielding stone. The group buzzed with excitement, their voices echoing as they shared stories. Bunmi chuckled about the coffin chamber, where ancient boxes still rested in alcoves, relics of hill tribe rituals. But the mood shifted as they entered a tunnel so narrow it barely fit one person. The uneven floor, strewn with pebbles and sharp karst, slowed their steps. Then, without warning, a low rumble shook the tunnel, like thunder, but closer, more menacing. The group froze. "Hold still! It's a collapse!" Somchai shouted. But it was too late. A section of the weakened limestone ceiling gave way, dust choking the air as rocks crashed down. Theda, caught mid-step, felt the ground slip. She lunged forward, but a massive slab slammed into her path, pinning her leg between jagged stones. Pain seared through her as debris piled up, pressing against her chest and arm. Her headlamp flickered, casting wild shadows like dancing spirits. Darkness swallowed her. Panic hit Theda like a tidal wave. "Help! I can't move!" she screamed, her voice raw. The stones crushed her ribcage, each breath a struggle. The cave's chill, amplified by humidity, sank into her bones, hypothermia creeping in at 59 degrees Fahrenheit. Somchai dropped to his knees, clawing at the rocks, but they wouldn't budge. "Theda, stay with me. Breathe slow," he urged, his calm voice masking fear. The group's headlamps formed a faint halo around her. Kanika gasped, hands over her mouth, while Tanawat fumbled with his phone, useless without a signal. The cave's silence, broken only by Theda's whimpers and dripping water, felt suffocating. Araya and Johan, the fittest, volunteered to race for help. "We'll get rescuers. Hold on," Araya called as they scrambled back through the passages. The river's current sped their raft, but the journey felt endless, the cave's twists fueling there. Back in the tunnel, the others rallied. Bunmi cushioned Theda's head with his jacket, while Liam held his light steady, whispering, "Picture the sunlight, Theda. We're with you." Kanika sang a soft Thai lullaby, her voice shaky to ease the pain. But time dragged on, the cave's cold and darkness like a living force. Theda shivered, her skin clammy, her mind fogging as hypothermia tightened its grip. Hours later, hope arrived. A cave rescue team from Mai Hong Son, alerted by Araya and Johan, descended with tools, wedges, hydraulic jacks, and ropes built for such dangers. Trained in Thailand's karst terrains, they knew Tham Lod's risks: unstable formations, sudden floods, deadly tight spots. They worked with precision, their headlamps piercing the dust. "We've got you," the lead rescuer said, giving Theda pain relief before shifting the jacks. The rocks groaned, then lifted, freeing her bruised, likely fractured leg. They strapped her to a stretcher, navigating the narrow passages with care, the group following in quiet relief. At a Chiang Mai hospital, doctors found a cracked rib, severe bruises, and early hypothermia, but Theda would recover fully. Weeks later, she shared her story online, warning others, "Tham Lod is breathtaking, but it's unforgiving. Go with experts, never alone. These caves teach us humility." Her ordeal underscored the skill of Thailand's rescuers, who navigate the deadly traps hidden in karst beauty. This story from Tham Lod shows nature's dual nature, stunning yet merciless, much like life itself. It reminds us how fragile we are when we step into the unknown. Imagine yourself in Theda's place, trapped in the cave's cold grip, rocks pinning you down. Would you be ready